2, 1.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the No Reset Marathon. I'm Ellen Mobtas, taking over hosting now. It seems like while we were on that break, we did reach the $2,000 incentive, so thank you so much for all your donations to the Equal Justice Initiative for that. That's going to mean in the next run, our runners will have to drop the 3 best weapons that they find in Final Fantasy Randomizer. We got 2 donations here. First one's from Silver Triforce, who says 2K hype, donating $50. Thank you so much, Silver. And from MasterFred7, $46. It says more DD_G. Oh yeah. Oh, and 2K, I guess. And with that, we are going to move along to Mega Man 1 Guitar Percent by DDG.
Hey! Alright, so those of you who have been following No Reset for a while knows this is not my first time doing it. But those of you who are following my own channel knows I haven't run this for over a year, so let's see what's gonna happen. Alright, so everything ready on your side?
Yep.
Alright, so let's start that in 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright guys, I'm Manix86. I'll be commentating for DD because he needs to focus on this run. So this is the Mega Man 1 glitchless run on the guitar. He's not playing Guitar Hero 3 on the side, don't get him wrong. So we start Gus first because on glitchless you can't do the pause glitch, you can't get the magnet beam with the zip because you're not allowed to do that anyway. So he's gonna have to go the almost casual route.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a difficult run. Because he can't abuse any tricks that normally makes this game beatable for many people. This famous track on Guts is known to have killed many people casually, but no problem for DD. So what's it's a pretty basic version of Mega Man, so you can't slide, you can't dash, you can't charge, and he also can't use the glitch. So when you get hit, if you normally press pause and unpause quickly, you can stop the damage recoil, but because it's glitchless, he can't do that. So he's gonna have to take it like a man.
Yep. Because I could map the select button, but it would be so out of reach it wouldn't even be viable.
So the big eye here is completely random, so you can do a high jump or a low jump. He got the low jump, unfortunately, so it's gonna make the battle here a little bit weird. And this is one of the only Mega Man, if not the only one, that the boss corridor actually has some enemies.
Yep.
I think Mega Man 11 added some as well, but so this is a Gus Man fight, very short stage. So what you want to know about this boss is you have to jump when he's just about to touch the floor, otherwise you get shaken and it's almost a guarantee hit.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, getting to Gutsman with like 5 health bars is almost a death. It depends on his pattern and he gave me the wrong one, so...
But the good news is you have a free refill that way.
Exactly.
Let's just look at it in the positive way. So let's try this again. Should be a fair fight this time.
And the timing is super tight, so...
Here
he comes again.
You also notice that he's timing his shots, he's not mashing them. That's because the boss, when he flashes, has what we call iframes or invisibility frames, meaning he can't take damage while the boss is in that mode.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's gonna have to time the shot just as the invisibility is done, and he has to grab the orb.
Alright, Gutman next.
And you got 90,000 points. The points don't really matter.
In a speedrun, they just make you lose time.
Exactly. Just from counting, it's not that much.
Yeah.
So this is Cutman, probably one of the best songs in the game, or the most memorable one anyway.
Which one is your favorite?
I like this one. I also really like Fireman.
Yeah, Fireman is my favorite. Alright, this part.
So this stage is kind of a weird layout, so you do a lot of vertical climbing and then you basically go into a downfall. So it's like a reverse U shape. So there's going to be a lot of ladders, a lot of these little guns.
Yep.
There's not anything too complicated. There is a corner jump here that you can
I
normally
tried.
go. Are you trying? Oh, okay. Well, you
I
can
was
try
not
at least
expecting
once.
to actually do it.
That was A for effort. So yeah, there's only a few frames or a few pixels to get that. So
Yep.
and then you got
Like
the
2 or
famous-
3 pixels. Yeah, it's super tight, and using this controller. Okay, good. I kind of guessed I wouldn't do it.
He was never a professional guitarist, so he never invested that much into a quality guitar. So this is even harder than it should.
Oh my god, could you imagine playing it on a real guitar?
Ibanez Prenescent.
Oh boy, wouldn't even try.
Alright, so not too many damage taken during the Susies. That's really good. So here's where we're gonna do the down.
Yep.
And this game was very known for classic stuff like dropping without knowing what's underneath. So if you took a right drop there and went too far, well, there's a bunch of spikes that kill you.
Oh, big eye has been kind. And
Not
also,
too high jumps.
yep. Okay, this part is kind of tricky. Okay, got it. Because you have to shoot at the very height of your, the very far, the highest of your jump. Otherwise, you're not gonna touch the enemy.
So this fight should be relatively
Ah,
trivial, although this is a guitar, so you never know.
Yeah,
So
I
you
missed
take-
one.
You're gonna have to finish the fight with the Buster. Luckily, you can lock this boss.
There's
As long as he...
one weird thing about this game is when the enemy dies and the orb drops, it kind of eats your jump. So I should have jumped over that final cutter, but because of that, I ran straight into it.
Yeah, you can actually die, and if you double kill yourself, the enemy wins.
Yep. And this is the worst stage in the game, especially with a guitar.
This game is bad, and this stage is worst, and it's not just because of the guitar, it's just the worst stage.
And this is the
Meanwhile,
worst
too,
tree.
the-
Oh my god.
So these jumps are usually pretty tight in itself. If you have to cut weapon, you can also break them, but you know, you gotta do it the gutsy way.
Alright. Got it.
So this stage is known as the vertical climb of hell. Let's just call it that way.
Oh yeah. Whoever's playing this game, this stage is hell. It's almost on par with Purple Hell from Mega Man 2.
And there's gonna be these green enemies coming up here. They're only gonna shoot when they come in line with DD. So
Yep.
I was gonna say you shouldn't take damage here, but it happened.
Yeah, my bullet went right through the third one. And no, I'm not gonna try the corner jump.
So DD's gonna try the corner jump, guys. There's a trick here where you can save a little bit of time.
Yeah,
and
like
skipping
2
a few
seconds.
And if you miss it, it's like a 30-second loss.
Yep.
We're just gonna wait, play it marathon friendly.
I'm playing with a guitar, nothing is marathon friendly.
I can't say that it's our fault. You decided.
Oh, I know.
A way to put yourself on a line for equal justice.
But I mean, somebody is gonna play Celeste with DDR pads, so how bad can this be?
This is the prequel. This part, those lasers do like 5 damage, so not taking damage from them is important. So here we get the magnet beam. So because it's glitchless, he's gonna have to switch to guts and break. Normally you can do a zip trick to get in here.
And this
So
is
the
where the
magnet
run
beam-
starts.
Yeah. So the magnet beam, for those who are not familiar, is just a little beam that comes out. It doesn't do any damage, but you can step on it. So you can use it to skip some ladders and climb quicker than you normally would. As you can see here.
I kinda figured.
Now this is something that takes practice without a guitar, so I imagine with a guitar it's debatably missable.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna take the... no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try. This could be a very
Four
bad
health is
idea.
pretty risky, yeah. Especially right before the boss room.
Yeah.
So we hope the big guy is going to be friendly. You
Or we can do that.
Yeah, just jump over it.
I
There
was
we go.
scared for a sec, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, at least if you die now, you start right there.
Yep. And I might on the boss.
So this beam climb, you can, in theory, use some beams to make this a lot faster, but it requires a lot of dexterity, which I imagine is near impossible with a guitar.
Yeah. It could be done, but I have a hard time doing this with a controller, so...
Coming to the most fair boss in the game, because you do 1 damage with the Buster, but he does like 82 with his.
He kills you in 3 hits. Elecman and Iceman are the only 2 boss that deals like 10 damage with every single shot.
The good news is the cutter does 10 as well.
Yeah.
So it's an even fight. Good
Alright.
job not dying in elect. You're past your fears.
Well, almost.
Speaking of fears, the Iceman stage on glitchless is also something that can be annoying.
Yep.
But we have the Magnet Beam that's going to make it a little bit more friendly. So there's not too much at the start of this stage. We're going to go through a little water section with some torpedo penguins. I don't remember what their actual names are.
I don't know. And
They're
never really
coming-
bothered learning the enemies' names.
You actually got the pixel to zip, so don't.
Yeah.
So you can normally use this beam to zip yourself through
no.
the stage, but he's not allowed to do that.
Nope.
That was all for show, to show you guys that even when the beam is not there, it can be there.
That was bad.
So these are the famous Yoku blocks that have destroyed
Oh,
many
come on.
people's childhoods. So they come into about a second apart of each. And they always come to the same pattern, so you can learn how.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use the blocks.
And he's
And
gonna need to save some beam for the next part, so it's
Yeah.
a wise choice.
I'm gonna take the refill.
So these platform enemies, they can. I'm not gonna talk about the lore about these platforms because I could go an hour and you still wouldn't understand what I'm. But yeah, this can happen.
Yeah. This is the hardest part of the stage.
So he's not gonna get the refill back. The enemies will be back, but not the refill. Just gonna have to manage the beam a little bit.
Yep.
So
How
the
much do I
platforms
have
you're
left?
using are. I think you used 1 or 2.
Yeah, but I cannot use it here.
So you're gonna see one of the longest patterns of Mega Man 1 of Yoku blocks here.
Alright. Now I can get through though.
Alright, so let's try this again. So these platform enemies, if you read the lore actually, they are actually configured to be just like the Magnet Beam, which means when they're gone after a few seconds, they're gone.
Yep.
And sometimes you don't see that on the screen, you can fall right through the platform enemy.
Exactly.
But
Oh,
we're
well.
past it.
And one particular thing with the platform enemies is that if you're standing on them and they decide to shoot, you can go straight through them.
Yep, or if they have an upward trajectory as well,
Yep.
they can be pretty bad.
Yeah. If they're going up and they shoot, you go straight through them. Because they hit you for some reason and your iframe move you through the platforms.
The Iceman's fight is probably the easiest fight with when you have the elect beam. It's a little fun challenge when you don't. I recommend everybody to play this fight on Buster because the more damage he takes, the faster his ice shots become. So it becomes harder to
Yeah.
actually start killing
Now,
him.
this one is my favorite stage when I play with a regular controller because I use the ice beam strat because that's how I learn. I know some people, well, nowadays I think most speedrunners use the magnet beam here, but I do love the ice beam strat. I never really learned the magnet beam.
I want to talk about what you just did there. It's an off-screen shot. It's the only place in the game where it's viable. If you shoot to the left side, the beam will actually appear on the right and kill an enemy. And there was a long debate in the community whether that was considered a glitch or not, but eventually it was accepted in the glitchless run, so that's why he was able to do it. But when you look at it, you're like, what the hell did he do? It's not.
Ooh, too low. That wouldn't make much of a difference anyway.
Yeah. So the cool thing about the ice beam, as you already saw, is you can freeze enemies. Sometimes it actually blocks your path if you freeze it at the wrong time, though.
Yep. There are 4 different heights where you can freeze the fire beams. And if you freeze them on the highest, you're gonna block yourself. Okay, switch to magnet.
So the magnet is actually really makes normally difficult parts really trivial. As long as you time everything, because the beam is on screen for about 2.5 seconds and then it's gone and you free fall really fast.
Oh yeah. That's what I was trying to do in Iceland stage when I played the platform and just had to wait because it was just a little bit too long. But if you use it before dropping down, you gain speed, so I tried. It did not work, but I tried. Come on.
So we're coming up to the end of the stage, we just have to deal with
I'm really low on life. And this is my last life.
Oh. So it's gonna be everything on the line.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, he's alive. I'll leave it at that.
If I do it right, I should be able to do it.
So one thing we haven't really talked about in Mega Man 1 is some bosses are manipulable to an extent. Fireman is one of them.
Yes!
As long as he does this exact pattern, keeps about a medium distance, Fireman will just do the same thing every time.
And
good job getting out of that one.
Yeah.
You just saved yourself like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep. This was probably the scariest fight I've done against Fireman in my whole life.
Also, Dee, the chat has been asking a question. The question is, Orb!
Orb!
Alright. Thank you for the bits, Zardia.
Hey Zardia, how are you doing? Zardia is gonna be running the next run.
So the Bomb Man stage, there's not too much going on in the beginning. He's gonna dodge some bombs by basically climbing over the screen. So if there's some donations or some things to read for the host, that would be a great time.
Yep.
Like a great time to mention that we are raising money for the Equal Justice Initiative, which is committing to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging racial and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society. So get your donations in. We are heading towards higher donation incentives. Our next one is Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD Ultra Heaven. That's at the $2,500 mark.
Alright, thank you, Motas. Alright, so we're coming up to the last portion of the Bomb Man stage. These bombs come in a fixed cycle, by the way, so they can be really annoying even though you know exactly where they're coming.
Yeah. I'm gonna take damage right here just to go through this guy.
Yeah, so you can beat the shot, but it's extremely precise, and it's not to mention that in most Mega Man games, if you are in iframes and fall into the spikes, you have time to get out. But in this game, they said, screw it. If you touch the spikes, you're dead. I don't care what.
I feel like they figured it was kind of unfair and they removed it on the other games.
Yeah, this game was, while people liked it, it was really acclaimed to being much too difficult casually, so they toned it down for the later editions. And by later, I mean the one right after. Alright, so here we have the Bomb Man fight. So Bomb Man can do about 3 different height jumps and throw some bombs. So he's got various patterns. The good news is he can be, like, you can know ahead of time a
Yeah.
little bit what's gonna happen. Like, he delays his attacks and jumps a little bit.
I mean, the main strat against Bombman is run toward him and shoot.
So the fire weapon is actually, we didn't talk about it there because it happens so fast. It not only shoots a projectile, but it creates a shield around you, which does quite a lot of, the same amount of damage as well. So we'll actually abuse that in the wily stages. But
Yep.
first, we gotta see the best eyebrow wiggling scene in the game. Dr. Wily. Alright. So now we
Yes.
got Wily on. I find this song is pretty intimidating.
Oh
Like,
my
if you
God.
come here the first time
Okay.
and you hear the song, you're like, oh man, I just made it to Wily. Holy
Yep.
damn. So this is why you don't run in Big Eyes. It always seems like he's near death because you got hit once. So we talked about earlier how he's gonna have to freeze some pillars. We might see it in a moment here, but first, we didn't talk about that.
Come on.
The Yoka block, or not the Yoka blocks, but those big guts blocks normally can be broken with gut, but they can
Okay.
also be broken with elect.
I mean,
These jumps
I might
are-
just take the death if I because this is my last life anyway. I was wondering if I would take the death or not. So now I know.
That might have been difficult because it was a guitar, but I will say it's not just because of the guitar. That's just a hard strategy
Yeah.
to get it up there without. It's not really a strat. It's just
Well, those are
have to
pretty much
practice
corner
the game.
jumps.
yeah.
Electric braking blocks totally makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like a. I don't know if you guys ever had Kinects as kids. It was like these little blocks you put together and they were powered by electricity. So maybe that's what this is.
Right. Ah, come on.
Alright, so we're gonna see the ice strat here by DD. So you are gotta freeze it on the second position, the middle position. There we go. Looks better. Alright. Now this little jump
God.
here, it actually looks easy, but you know, jinxed.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the safe strats.
So that jump, I call it the cheap jump of Mega Man 1. So if you do a full jump and a little too early, you're gonna bonk your head.
Yep.
And your velocity of Mega Man increases as you're falling, and it increases in speed just enough for you not to clear the gap by bonking your head. So you have to do like a tiptoe jump if you wanna make it like that. If not, you can do like a 3/4 jump to call it that way. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
but yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna switch to Electman right away, and you can also just do this.
for all you fans of Nintendo, you know this is just what Nintendo does.
Yep.
It was just challenging enough to make you want to play again because you couldn't beat it. Alright, so we're coming up to some more platform enemies.
Yep.
Different color, so a change of taste. There's also going to be spikes everywhere, so you can't. You gotta watch and not go too high, especially with the Magna Beam, because it'll be higher every time you ED cast it. Good job there keeping them low. And the famous climb, so this is not possible without the Magna Beam, so if you run out, you're screwed.
Or if you don't know about the game and you forget to pick it up.
Exactly. The game won't tell you to go back.
I'm just gonna say this screen is deceptively hard with the guitar.
Yeah, the beam not only has to be casted and released at the right height for you to reach it, but it doesn't last there very long, so you gotta have it planned out and ahead of time. You can't just wait and take your time.
Yep.
Alright, so the Easy Devil, one of the most famous Mega Man enemies throughout the entire series.
Yep.
So,
And one of the most reused.
so he just splits into each side, and he's got an eye that will appear at 3 different heights. Luckily with the Elect Beam, you can hit it at every height.
Yep.
And because it's glitchless, he's gonna have to hit him only once per cycle. The good news is the cycle pattern is the same every time.
Yep. this boss is one of the main reason why glitchless is longer than just zipless.
Exactly. And this fight is not that difficult to understand, but it's deceptively hard in the sense that you still have to outlast. I mean, taking a damage can put you off your rhythm and hit you a couple times.
I just feel like flexing a little bit, and I just want to say that one of the first time, maybe the second, I think the second marathon I ran this game, I had an incentive where I said if we reach, I don't even know, maybe like $200 during the run, I was going to attempt this boss with the guitar with the Buster. We did reach it, and I managed to defeat it damageless.
Glitchless?
Glitchless. Glitchless, no damage with the Buster and the guitar.
Yeah, this game Buster only is no joke, so if you guys ever try that, and you even beat the game, I'm proud of you already. I don't care what time you got, if you beat it, you understand the game well enough. Alright, Wily 2, this is arguably the most annoying stage of the game.
Yeah, and this is one of the worst jump. I'm just gonna take the game over and restart because this is my final life. And I don't feel like trying the clone fight with like half my health.
So these enemies swoop down from you when you get to them at a specific proximity, and the way this stage starts, it's at like the exact annoying place.
Yep. Alright, there we go.
So those are nice health refills, and I say that because this stage has a couple of refights and some difficult segments, and you don't have any health refills between the bosses.
Yep.
You're essentially fighting 3 bosses in a difficult stage. So it's a really challenging level.
Yep. I mean, the first, the 2 refights are kind of easy, but the boss of this stage is, in my opinion, the hardest one with the guitar.
Yeah, the clone fight, not to spoil anything.
I'm pretty sure nobody knows what a clone is.
We do have 2 donations while we're going through the refights.
Alright,
Go ahead.
First is from Totally Ben Show Sly, not Martha SR at all. He donates $20 and says, I, Ben Show Sly, solemnly vow to play Marble Madness on guitar. Capital.
I believe that.
And we also have a $10 donation from Squee who says, let's make it to 2.5k for that Super Monkey Ball milestone. $10 hype train, choo choo.
Thank you so much. Now, I wish I would believe that, but I don't know if we should believe the guy with the stolen PS3.
Oh, it's stolen? I heard that.
Well, that's what the runner says. Runner's always right. I think that's what the rule is.
Well, I mean, runner's always right, unless it's smart.
It's a smart runner. Oh, Mara.
Yeah, Marv.
Alright, Clone War. So we're gonna bring up a really cool teleport here. And it's just gonna be another Mega Man, and he's basically gonna have, because we're on the fire weapon, he's gonna have the fire weapon as well. And this boss actually reacts to what you do, and you have to find a way to kill him. And one of the guitar ways to do it is to hug a wall and kind of outwit him.
And kind of just die.
Alright, he still looks like he has enough fire to take on the fight or
Yeah.
be really close, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, I can switch to Electman if bad comes to worst. As I said, I have not run this for over a year, so I'm not really surprised how it's going.
Yeah, so Marth replied with Sif Kamanepe, which means whistling like an idiot. Doesn't have the same significance though when you say it in English. Alright, let's try this again. So the boss basically has a basically as soon as his iframes end, he wants to do an action. So if you time your jump, he will jump as well.
Yep.
This fight is pretty funny because if you do nothing, he's just gonna walk left and right and do nothing. That's fun. Alright, so good job getting out of there. I don't care what it took you, you're out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the worst part is over now. I mean, this was the hardest boss. The upcoming one is the easiest one.
Yeah, the Wily 3 is considered the break stage a little bit of the game. It is the easiest one. In glitchless especially, you're gonna use the... You don't really have any tricks to do against the boss or anything like that. So he's just gonna go through this long tunnel, and because you can't zip, he's gonna have to run it.
Yep.
Now the game was nice enough to actually give you a water current, so you run about at 3 times the speed.
Alright, now jump over 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Small jump. And I missed the other jump, but that's fine.
This is not a number class, guys. That's actually buffer strength.
Yeah. That I
so
failed miserably. Now I'm gonna need to hold the guitar in another way because I need to mash.
Yeah, so this boss takes about 12 buster shots, or one of those blocks. So generally what we do is we'll kill the first 4 with the buster.
The first 3. Yeah.
And then you'll kill the next 4 with the... Because they become progressively faster, it gets harder to mash them. So he's gonna finish them off with the blocks.
I mean, if your name is Cool Kid, you can also duplicate the blocks, but I'm not gonna try that.
Yeah, shoutouts to Cool Kid who basically
Basically owns all the world records in this game.
Everything except ace %, which is like the biggest glitch in the game, but he doesn't want to invest time into that.
Yeah.
Alright, so Wily 4, this stage is not that difficult, but health management is good because you basically have to fight all the bosses and Wily.
How many lives left?
I didn't see that.
Alright, I'm taking the game over and we're gonna do it now.
That was actually a marathon incentive that was meant, guys. Hey, intentional death.
Yeah, let's just say it was.
We call it the equally justice death.
But I mean, this jump is super tight if you try to climb the ladder before the enemies appear. This jump is super tight.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was actually pretty fine because I refilled my fireman.
Yeah, so because of the game over, he's not gonna have to worry about his weapon energies, which can be pretty difficult without them. He's gonna have to get through these cannons. The elect beam weapon is really good here. It causes a little bit of lag when you shoot it, but the fact that it shoots in 3 directions is pretty good. This part here is pretty deceptively difficult if you don't use the magnet beam. There's some really tight jumps that lead to deaths, but I'm not gonna worry about that.
The other 4 refights.
Alright, so we're gonna have to fight basically everybody except Cup and Elect because we already beat those 2 before, so the same weakness, the same patterns. The rooms are a little bit smaller because of the teleport area, so it changes slightly, but not that much. Ice will be used against fire. He can use the same strategy here. This is the glitchless way to do it. So when we say glitchless, it's normally if you pause your weapon inside the enemy, the menu will, when you pause out and come back out, the weapon will still be there, but the enemy iframes will have still passed. So if you time it correctly, you can pause and unpause repeatedly, and the weapon will keep doing damage and stay in the boss's body, so it will basically not do anything. So this fight, his weakness is normally bomb. It takes 3 bombs to kill him.
Come on! Sorry. Alright, got it. Yeah, his weakness is bomb.
Faster. Yeah, but it's actually faster to fight him with Buster and a bit more consistent. If you miss a bomb, you lose like 12 seconds or something like that.
I mean, I think in glitchless, no matter what, it's faster with the Buster.
So this is not a lot of health for Wily, but we'll see how he does. So Wily has 2 forms. The first form is...
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna do the boss with full health. I mean...
This is all planned.
Well, kind of. I tried something, it didn't work, so I figured I'd rather take a death.
And by the way, for the person doing the timer ends when Wily's second bar of life will be gone in the second form. I'll call it for you guys. Or D, you call it, because I'm a bit delayed. So the good news is he's weak to fire in both.
Yeah, but I'm gonna use Elec here, just for safety.
The good thing about Elec is it shoots down, so you can actually always stay underneath the bullet. It's a very predictable weapon, but it does a lot of damage, and it's hard to see it because of the game flickers. Sometimes it's actually out before you actually see it.
And when he's going backward, this weapon hits him twice. Time!
GGDD.
DGG.
So that was Guitar Run. How do you feel about that one, Didi? Not bad for just a no rust.
I don't know the time, so I'm not gonna say anything right now. Is it under 35?
Yeah, it's 34-22.
All right, good. Well, I'm fine with that.
Underestimate, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. And you did that with a plastic guitar. Like, I don't, you know.
With like 4 game overs, but we're not gonna talk about that.
That was intentional. That was intentional.
Well, 2 of them were.
Yeah. I just want to congratulate you on this run. I know you do this almost every marathon in some shape or form for No Reset.
Well, it's been a
It's
while
almost-
since last time
it's
I
al-
did.
Yeah. But I know you always do it for the crowd,
Yep.
and everybody always appreciates it.
I'm
So
pretty
thank
sure. I hope it's a crowd pleaser because this is rough.
I'll just want to quickly mention, if you guys want to speedrun some Mega Man games and you can't find them on speedrun.com, that's because they have a different website. So if you go to megamanleaderboards.net, you'll find all the resources, which are really good, by the way, for all the Mega Man games. They run on their own website. But yeah, I don't know if you'll find anything about a guitar, but you'll find a lot.
Well, thank you, Manix, for filling in like last minute because, yeah, as we were saying earlier, Rubber Ducky couldn't make it because he's sick, so I kind of filled in and you just hopped in, so thank you so much for commentating. Thank you, Modas, for hosting, and Modas, you're gonna come back, right?
That's right, and you're coming back too.
Yeah, I am. Alright, so we can go to transition, we're gonna get ready, and we're gonna be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, stay there for the Final Fantasy randomizer. And also, we'll take the time to tell you that we still have a donation incentive coming on for the run after Final Fantasy randomizer. And that will be the Super Monkey Ball Banner Blitz HD. And the donation incentive is to make the runner run into the Ultra Heaven difficulty after his run. And this is pretty epic. You don't want to miss it. So get those donations in, and look at Didi doing the face on his cam. All right, so we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Bye.